Hi there, this is InnoIso and this is Price It Now. So Price It Now is a video stream where we basically find the best deals for smartphones on the internet and we put them all together and then we compare them. It's important to note that when a new phone is released, we see the MSRP and we're scared away, whether it's $1,000 or $1,200 or even more. We think that phone's not worth that price. We never go back and consider, now that prices have dropped, are they a better deal than other phones in the market? If you're interested in any of the deals that we found here today, take a look in the description and you'll find a link to an article listing all of the deals individually. If you click those links and buy one of those phones, then I will get a small referral fee for your purchase. I want you to find the best possible deal on a smartphone, whether it's through those affiliate links or anywhere else. So what you'll see on screen is basically a list of all the phones that I currently track and Price It Now. Now, before we get started with Apple, I'd like to remind you that Apple phones have a tendency to hold their value better than other manufacturers. So brand new, for a 64 gig model of the iPhone 8, it looks like you're going to be paying around $350. So interestingly enough, it says A+, and quite often that means that it's already been opened, but this looks to be unopened. So $335 looks to be the best price. So let's save that. Let's take a look at refurbished models and see if they're near that low. A lot of the times the lower priced items are B stock or C stock, and I don't want y'all to buy severely scratched up or damaged products. I only recommend that you buy decent condition products, especially because a lot of the times they are near the same cost. GSM unlocked. See, this is a tricky one. A lot of times they'll hide the unlocked options underneath these little drop-down menus, and then once you get to a point where you're getting the item you want, it'll be $259.99 rather than the $214 they advertise. So try to avoid whenever it says there's a range. $250. Yeah, there aren't a lot of great deals for iPhone 8s refurbished. I'm gonna put this in there, but I'm not going to recommend it. There we go. Okay, what's next? The iPhone XR. So the XR is quite old now. Just so you know, I've done this before and I found iPhone XRs for a lot lower prices. So in June, I found it for $530. Same thing in May. Now, I'm not seeing anything as low as $530. Unless I'm mistaken, $598 is the same price that Apple is selling it for. And so in this case, I'm going to recommend that you buy it from Apple if you want an iPhone XR. Here you go. This is more interesting. Open box is a little bit shaky. Sometimes open box really means open box, sometimes it doesn't. So if you want to opt for an open box phone, that's great. Sometimes you'll get a better model because of it, but I found that a lot of sellers don't really adhere to what open box rules are. And so you might actually get a phone that was used. It's just repackaged to look like it's a brand new phone. I saw Xfinity in there. Xfinity phones are a lot harder to unlock as far as I know. And so therefore, I usually avoid Xfinity phones, and that might indicate what the $369 pricing is, but we'll see. Yep, this listing is just obfuscating the actual price of the unlocked model. So I don't like sellers that do that. $479.98 or $479.88. It's better than the $484.98 that we found before. So I guess we can replace the earlier one because this does say open box. But look, open box, excellent condition cosmetically, 100% fully tested, fully functional, might have minor scratches. That doesn't make any sense. Why would an open box model have minor scratches? You think about open box and you think it's literally someone opening a box saying, nah, I don't want this, and returning it. But in reality, these might be used or seller refurbished phones. And so open box versus refurbished often means the same thing to me. If the refurbished model comes in excellent condition. But this listing is still $5 cheaper, and so let's go ahead and use it, despite the seller not being on my good side. $479.88. iPhone XS. So iPhone XS was also released now 2 years ago, nearly 2 years ago in 2018. And it was the high-end model. It started at a price of $999. So keep that in mind as we're browsing through these prices, and you'll see something really interesting start to form. That's it, $599.99, space gray iPhone XS for 600 bucks, 64 gigs. I like this deal because it looks more attractive than the iPhone XR. I prefer if they give you a little bit more detail than to just fully tested and functional 7 out of 10 condition, but okay, so now we're actually in the very good condition. So the very good condition is 8 out of 10. So 8 out of 10 versus 7 out of 10, go for the cheaper model, right? I have no idea what 7 out of 10 means. That doesn't mean anything, but okay. iPhone 11, let's move on. So specifically searching for non-Pro models, so that's why I subtract Pro from the search here. $699.99 refurbished. Let's start with new, but I think basically it's going to be more expensive. This is absolutely wild. Like, this phone, unless I'm mistaken, is $700 from Apple. I highly recommend that you buy an iPhone 11 from Apple. Don't buy it from eBay. I don't know why you would pay more for an iPhone 11 on eBay than you would from Apple, but maybe in the comments let me know if you think otherwise. Refurbished, $679.99. I'd recommend buying it from Apple for the extra 20 bucks because you have a receipt from Apple. You know it's legit. You know it's history because you opened the box. So while I'll put this model in there, go for the one from Apple. Now this one is $585 bucks, but I'm a little worried. Okay, so this one is a single unit. And so I'm not going to list single units on this Price It Now stream because maybe one of you will buy it and then the next person won't be able to buy it. So I'm only going to list items that have multiple items in stock. But that being said, be sure to check out these deals for yourself because you might be able to find better deals like this, $585. At $585, with some scratching visible, I would recommend that price over the $700 that you could get it new from Apple. That's the only reason. Otherwise, buy it from Apple. Okay, iPhone 11 Pro, this is gonna get interesting. Network fully unlocked is the only option. Color, let's go midnight green because it's different. 64 gigs, condition, let's start with good. $769.99. Space gray, $769.99. Isn't this crazy? Like, this is a testament to how good the iPhone 11 was, because the iPhone 11 Pro has dropped nearly $250 from its MSRP, whereas the iPhone 11 is sticking very close to its MSRP. So, if you want the 11 Pro, you're better off getting it from eBay than you would be if you wanted the 11. Okay, that looks like the best deal that I can get. Now let's quickly look at new. 920 new looks interesting. Let's see. Okay, 920 new. That's the go-to. So I think $920 is just getting to the point where I would prefer buying it through eBay. But if it was a little bit more expensive, I might go instead through Apple. Let's move on to the iPhone 11 Pro Max. $929. Okay. $929 is the going price. Let's go for a brand new iPhone SE Max or iPhone 11 Pro Max. $1,535, $1,119, which is 20 bucks over its price on Apple. If you want a new iPhone 11 Pro Max, get it from Apple. Okay, now let's wrap up with the iPhone SE 2020. So when I've checked this before, the iPhone SE 2020 hadn't dropped below its price, its initial price of $399. And I have a feeling that's still going to be the case. It still feels like a new phone, so it's still in kind of high demand. $435 for the 64 gig, $430, $485. If you want an iPhone SE, $399, buy it from Apple. So with that, we're done with Apple. Now let's do a quick walkthrough of what I think about these prices. First, the iPhone 8. If you want an iPhone 8 right now, maybe your iPhone 6 is dying, or maybe you're switching from Android but you want a relatively cheap phone, the iPhone 8 you can get refurbished for $269.99. You should opt for that over the $335.99 for a new model. And the reason is if you're paying over $300 for an iPhone, you should go ahead and get the iPhone SE 2020 at $399. Now the iPhone XR, it is really impressive that the iPhone XR has held its value so well to the point where now you can find better prices for iPhone XS's. I personally would prefer the iPhone XS over the iPhone XR because it is technically the better phone. It started out as a much higher priced phone. But if you specifically want the iPhone XR for its bigger screen, $479.88 is an okay price for it. If you want the newest model of iPhone, whether it be an 11 or 11 Pro, I would recommend getting the iPhone 11 Pro for $769.99 rather than getting the iPhone 11 for $699.99. I think the 11 Pro is a significantly better phone, but again, it's up to choice. If you prefer the bigger screen of the iPhone 11, and if you are okay with only 2 cameras versus 3, then get the iPhone get the iPhone 11. It amazes me now how well the mid-range models of iPhones, the iPhone XR and the iPhone 11, have retained their values even over 10 and 20 months into their lifespan. Whereas the Pro models, or the higher end models, are actually losing a lot more value. That's pretty impressive. I wouldn't recommend paying near MSRP for an iPhone right now, just because Apple's expected to release the next generation of iPhone in just a couple months. So if you are in the market for an iPhone, try and hold out for a little bit longer and then buy as soon as iPhone 12 and the iPhone 12 series is announced, because as you can see here, iPhones tend to hold their values very impressively. So that's Price It Now for iPhones. If you are interested in other manufacturers, don't worry, I'm going to get to it. Just subscribe and your next video, it's going to be there. I hope you enjoyed this, and with the support, I will continue doing videos just like this. So stick around, I'll see you in the next one.